It's so stupidly easy looking. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I wish there was like something like this when we were doing that.
Stone Age triangle music.
This is quite a bit higher.
Don't do it, Wren. You have too much to live. Don't do it, Wren.
Alright, what's up, Sam?
So today we're with Chris, who works at Leica, and he has brought a very special piece of technology that I've just been oogling over for many, many years here. As you know, we like to recreate like digital environments in many ways. Sometimes we'll take like an HDR scan of an environment to project lighting and materials and reflections onto digital characters. Other times, like in anime self-driving cars, we'll like photo scan an entire environment with like a drone and stitch all the photos together and map it out to create a virtual environment. But Chris here has brought a special tool that can kind of do all that in one.
So this is the Leica BLK 360. It's a 3D scanner using LiDAR. It's also got HDR imagery capabilities. Typically used more in the construction space and capturing 3D scenes, but to a couple millimeter accuracy. But now we're starting to get into getting some traction in the visual effects industry, and that's why we kind of teamed up with you guys to try and check out some of those workflows. Yeah.
So our goal for today is to photo scan our studio and the loading dock and basically get a 3D model and a digital recreation of our entire workspace for their use. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. So previously, when we film a video, like Bosstown Dynamics for example, when we have to render out our 3D models of characters, we'll use something like an Insta360 camera here, because basically we can take multiple photos of an environment and create an HDR image. And that HDR image allows us to relight the environment and basically tell our 3D models where the light sources are, and it also adds realistic reflections for that real world environment. So the whole Bosstown Dynamics videos, you can watch this. Every single shot of the robot there is using an HDR map that we took during that shot on set. And that's what helps those robots just blend in so well with the environment. But what's the big difference though between using this and that? Because they're both 360. We'll both get like 360 images from it.
Sure.
But what is the main difference with this and that?
I mean, the big difference is we're actually using LiDAR. So we're actually using a laser to collect measured points to create a 3D model, actually, a 3D point cloud.
How does LiDAR work?
So LiDAR is using a laser from the inside. As you can see here, the laser's on the inside and it hits this mirror, this 45-degree angle mirror. Then that mirror spins and it shoots out a laser point, and using time-of-flight technology, it's bouncing back and takes a measured data point. And so the data itself is actually scaled. But because of that, as this rotates, then this whole thing spins. You've got a single laser beam kind of going like this, and then it rotates 180 degrees. But then you're collecting, full 360 because you're capturing that slice all at once.
Do you want to actually go to the loading dock first and start there?
Blast door open.
What is this?
This is a crash pad. I've been wanting one of these my entire life.
What's a crash pad?
Crash pad is what you can jump onto from high distances and not hurt yourself. They're hard to find because they're a very specialty piece of hardware.
Is this what the big Hollywood stunt guys use?
This is what the big Hollywood stunt guys use. In fact, we bought it from big Hollywood stunt guys. All right.
What the heck?
Oh,
snap. Is that what I think it is?
You want to do one hop? One hop and we open in 5 seconds.
I'll do an inaugural hop.
Bump. Bust a quick stunt, dude.
Yeah, I'll do an inaugural hop. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. Big boy, you need it flat and big?
What the heck?
You're on the wrong foot.
No, this is, every time I jump on the crash pad, it's going to mesh side up.
Yes.
Really?
What? Yes.
Yeah, this is to protect it from the dirt. This is no protection from the dirt.
Yeah, you don't want rocks in here.
Yeah, you don't want rocks in there. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Anything the rocks are going to get trapped in there, son.
Definitely like this.
Oh shit! Yeah, we want this side.
Little sport on it, but don't, they said basically don't start with any 3-story gyms. Wait, Niko.
Yeah.
You said how do you break it in?
Yeah, how do you break it in?
Let me show you.
Wow.
A little bit, a couple hundred times.
Oh, it's stiff.
Remember what Brett taught you.
Remember what Brett taught me.
Don't use those hands.
Yeah.
Jeez, I didn't even know that was about to happen.
Yo, I can do that too.
Ooh.
Hey, I could do that also, again, one more.
Oh.
You know backflip? Whoa! Damn, I didn't know you had that in you, Wes.
He's off his Jackie Chan.
Matching it.
Yeah, that's on you. Okay, ready?
Wait, what? What? Where did this come from?
Nice.
Going down.
Yeah, trick shots.
Remember what Brett taught you.
Remember what Brett taught me.
We put this under the railing.
Oh, that just hurt.
Did it actually hurt?
This is supposed to be safe, Niko.
It is safe.
If you practice
Wren doesn't have brain damage. He's just always like that.
He's fine.
That's how he contemplates. Right?
When we filmed our Bosstown Dynamics video, in order to get that robot looking like it's naturally in the scene, we would take our Insta360 cameras and we would scan a 360 HDR of this environment. And that image basically allows us to separate the bright points from the dark points and basically light our scene. It basically, yeah, it's able to tell us where our light sources are coming from. However, there was one small issue that led us to have to basically redo that lighting. And here's kind of how that works. So, when you scan a 360 HDR of an environment, you're basically getting a giant sphere. That's what your image ends up looking like. You get a sphere that surrounds your environment. The problem though is that sphere, it's not in 3 dimensions here, it's in 2. Imagine I'm inside a sphere here of light, but the problem is that when you scan it in 2 dimensions, that light sphere has to kind of move with you because it's at an infinite distance. It doesn't actually move with your scene or anything like that. So when you have an issue like this, where you have a scene that has a single top light, when you scan your HDR, whenever the character is standing directly beneath the light, it's going to look completely natural. But suddenly, if the character steps in 3D space away from it, that 360 HDR, it's not going to move away. It's going to stick with your scene. So when it came time to render that video and light it and do all that stuff, we had to basically go through and in 3 dimensions put light sources back where they were. So that made it so we couldn't actually rely on just our image map to recreate the scene. However, when you start using this and you have the LiDAR that actually scans your environment in 3 dimensions, you can feasibly have a fully functioning 3D lighting environment that allows any characters to walk around in it and have the light sources react appropriately. It's a long-winded explanation, but I feel like that's as concise as I can possibly make it.
Have you ever had a dream that
basically makes it so your lights stick where they need to be. So let's try a scan here.
Yeah. If you want to get your best, cleanest stuff, you have 2 options. Yeah, you can run and hide behind something, or you can do a little BLK 360 dance. As this rotates, you can kind of...
Can we just get up? Can we get against the wall and just be...
No, because it's going to go past us and scan us. I mean, we'll be permanently set in stone in that scene forever.
We can do, low res, medium res, high res. So that's just a number of actual points you're taking. Then you can change the imagery to be LDR or HDR.
It would be great to do the HDR scan because I'm okay with the extra data because we can definitely use this.
So how long does that take scanning wise then?
I'll take about 4 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
By the way, the musician upstairs is playing some extra like technology-driven music right now, so it's perfect.
Technology-driven music.
I guess I'll see you guys on the other side.
See you guys in 420. So, loading dock's done. We're gonna start our, we're gonna chart our course from the loading dock back into the studio.
Yeah. About a 1% preview of what the total point cloud will look like.
How much does this camera run?
So this one is, just the unit itself is like 18,500. But yeah, kind of all in for anything you'd need to get started is like 20 grand.
Is that a good idea?
That's probably way too high. We definitely need to break it in.
Don't do it, Wren. Don't do it, Wren.
You have too much to lift. Don't do it, Wren.
Quite a bit higher when you're up here.
Oh, you're actually coming down. We must jump from higher things.
The ground is not high enough.
Yeah, I feel it.
Wren, we gotta work our way up to it.
Wren's like ready for it.
We gotta work our way up to it.
That is, you feel the acceleration.
Dude, that almost just took the camera out, dude. I know.
You see his shoe? His shoe went up there.
Niko.
Check this out, check this out.
Hey, I'll catch you guys later. I gotta go.
Oh, dude, are you alright, man?
No, for real, I gotta get going, guys.
Here, man.
Let's go. Niko, I'll catch you later, dude.
I'll see you later.
Peace out. No, for real, I gotta go though. I gotta go. I'll catch you guys. I'll catch you guys later.
Oh, we gotta do. Whoa! Why is that so squishy? I would double check your pants, man. That one didn't fit the air.
You can see it, dude.
Okay, so how are we gonna put all this data together?
So every time we set it up, we make sure there's overlapping data between those, and then essentially like putting a puzzle together. These chunks, this chunk over here is one bundle that's all been together, and I've got two other scans that have not been registered yet. So all I have to do, I know this was over in front of the airsoft stuff, so if I just hit this link, press this scan right here, we've now got this top down just between these two, and we'll hit optimize and just see it snaps them together. We hit create link. So we'll do that one more time with this scan over here, just get it close to where it should be, say hey, register with that one, hit optimize, and it snaps it together.
Oh my god, it's so stupidly easy looking. Yeah. Oh my gosh, because like each one of these files though is like super dense. There's like millions of points.
So what we're seeing here, this isn't fully processed data yet. It's just a low res kind of preview. Fully process it can't quite handle that all on the iPad Pro. So once I dump this off onto the laptop, it'll finish processing, and then that's when it'll like fully essentially unzip all the real data. So yeah, this is just previewed stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming by, making the time to come out here.
Yeah,
I know you have a packed schedule showing. Everyone wants to see this.
Yeah, right.
So I'm really glad we got to do this, and hopefully we can get this out to you guys, so that way you can take a look and see what our studio's like without having to fly out here.
Yeah.
The most convenient
work
thing.
here.
Or work here. Yeah.
Sweet. Appreciate it.
One of the balls, everyone. 4 stroke